he's got some learning to do, but it certainly shows some ability. I mean, he's a good sized kid, a 6'5", 240 pounds. He's got wide shoulders, and so he's going to add some things to our blocking game, I think. We're going to have to utilize these tight ends. I mean, we're obviously want to run the football in this offense, and so we're going to have to get those guys on the field where they're going to have to be able to block guys. So we're going to definitely lean on those guys and use them. And so we're going to have a rough camp. There's going to be a rough 2 weeks here coming up for us because we're going to really go hard and get a lot out of these guys, and we want to see what they can and can't do in this period of time. So we don't want to start the season and not knowing. And so we're going to try to do the best we can and find all the talents that they have and run with them and use those guys in that capacity. So if they're willing and able, we'll certainly see some two tight ends. If that's going to be something that we feel like we'll have a strength doing, we'll certainly use it. I hope we're able to do that.
Absolutely.
And the final question for you here, Coach. The coaches and players have both acknowledged that the offseason last year, or the offensive line last year, struggled opening up some holes for the run game with a new coach in place, like you had mentioned, and Dwayne Ledford coming in. Several players staying, notably Kendall Lamb and Kalen Jones, and a year experience under their belts. How do you feel their progress has been to this point?
Well, I think the main thing for those guys is that they're having fun again. I wasn't here, so I really don't know what happened. But I mean, when we came in the spring, we had to build those guys back up a little bit. They were kind of down, and they really wasn't having a whole lot of fun. So we didn't have a lot of fun the first week of spring ball. But by the end of spring ball, we were having fun. The guys were getting a little bit of confidence, and that carried on into the summer. And then right now, our starting unit has really gone out there and done a great job throughout these 4 days. They're starting to believe in each other a little bit. They're starting to play for each other, and not only for each other up front, they're playing for each other in the whole offense. So, I think we're all running on the same page right now, and those guys are really gelling and meshing. I mean, when you get offensive line-wise, they're almost a team within the team. They're 5 guys up front. If they're working together as one, then we're going to have a successful offense. And so that's the things that we've been trying to build with the guys up front. Play for each other, work with each other, become one unit. And then the good things are going to happen. And that's what they've been doing. They've been practicing hard. They've been going hard, and they're having fun. They're looking forward to coming to work every day over here. So that's been a neat thing to see.
Great.
Absolutely. That's great. I mean, because it's one of those things where you can see that the physical ability is there. It's definitely great to hear that they're kind of meshing and coming together and kind of being able to play as one. That's good to hear.
Yeah, that's great to hear as diehard fans, and we both bleed black and gold, so that's great to hear. And we're excited for this upcoming season. Can't wait for September 1st to roll around and to hopefully take down that pirate ship. So thanks again for coming on, Coach. We had a great time talking to you, and good luck this season.
Hey, thank you, guys. We appreciate your support and all that you're doing for Appalachian State. And just ask you to keep doing it and keep hanging there with us, and hopefully we'll put a good product on the field that everybody will be proud of.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach. Have a great night.
Right.
Have a great
all
night.
Right. Take care. Yeah. Take care. Yeah.
That's about all I have to say about that interview. That was great for Coach Satterfield to come on, take time out of his, I'm sure, extremely hectic schedule with camp starting. I mean, he's got a wife and kids. He's got a life out of football. And take time to talk to two fans is just a great character, a great show of his character. So
absolutely. I mean, it certainly goes without saying that he had, he had no obligation to come on and talk with us, and it really goes to show how much he does value all the Appalachian fans out there, and how much support we give to the program, and it's really kind of a refreshing thing to see, a coach that's, has a lot on his plate and a lot of things to do, taking time to talk to the fans. And so it was a lot of fun to do. And, as far as the interview itself, I think there's a couple of things that kind of stood out to me in terms of where he sees things offensively. And obviously I don't want to put words in his mouth, because there's a long way to go in camp and determining who's going to be starting. But it seemed to me, just based on what he said, it sounds like him and the the coaches are pretty high on Drew Bailey there at tight end. It sounds like they're really happy with his progress and, you know, kind of where he stands. And at the running back position, he mentioned that, you know, the Rod Chisholm was a guy that kind of do a little bit of everything, kind of added that speed aspect, but was also, you know, strong enough. He's beefed up a little bit in the offseason, strong enough to be effective as a blocker and all the blitz pickups and things that the running backs have to do on our offense. And so those are, you know, based on his tone and what he said, I think those are two offensive players at very key positions. Sound like they're having a great offseason.
Yeah, definitely. And something else that I took from it was his quote about how the offensive line weren't having fun last year. I think that was huge in the play we saw out of them, for lack of better words. They weren't opening the holes, and that killed us come playoff time. We got away with it in SoCon, but come playoff time, that killed us when we were playing the best of the best in the FCS. So I think that's great that they're having fun again, and hopefully becoming a team.
Absolutely, and that's you know, it's one of those things where, you know, as fans, you know, myself as well, as much as anybody, you know, kind of fall into that, you know, looking at a team, you know, kind of on paper and saying that, you know, this guy is, you know, this height, this weight, runs this 40 time, you know, whatever it might be. And all that's important. All those measurables obviously, you know, play a role in what they can do on the football field. But one of those things is kind of not so quantifiable as, you know, how well they seem to be coming together under the new coach. So, you know, where obviously none of us really know what was going on behind the scenes last year. It definitely sounds like, you know, whatever it was that was going on, it kind of, you know, made it so that the guys on the offensive line were, you know, not necessarily playing for each other or playing for the team, or, you know, and, you know, like you said, maybe just not having that much fun. And that's, you know, when you can get a group of guys together that have all the physical ability that our offensive linemen have, and, you know, from a purely measurable standpoint, we've got as much, you know, ability up there as we've had in a while. You know, when you can get those guys to really, you know, play for one another and buy into the system and be a team, and kind of have those five guys up front really knowing what the other guys are going to do, and being, you know, as he said, looking forward to coming into work every day. That's, you know, that's something you really can't quantify that, but it's, you know, it really sounds like they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree, and I can't wait to see them play. Unfortunately, I know you will be, but unfortunately I won't be able to make the ECU game this year. So my first game I'll be able to see the offensive line and the Mountaineers in general play will be September 8th with Montana. And that, obviously, going back to our defeat in the playoffs and the semifinals in the snow, blizzard in Montana, it's going to be a huge payback for them, and I hope we just absolutely destroy the Grizzlies. Is going to be a two top 10 teams, presumably, going into the second week of the season. So with the Montana game, we've been advertising all week free Montana tickets. So let's limit the teasing for our fans, Mike, and let's let our listeners know how they can go about getting those tickets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's there's a couple ways that you can go about doing them. You can basically enter your name into the hat for drawing by either liking us on Facebook or liking posts on Facebook. You'll get basically one entry for liking us on Facebook or liking one of our posts on Facebook. Get two entries for sharing at statecentral.com link or Facebook. Link on Facebook, and it's pretty easy to do. Any post we have out there, you can click the share button. If you do that, that'll get you 2 points. And then on Twitter, if you follow or retweet anything that we put out there, you'll get your name, get one entry in there. And then as far as the tickets themselves, they're located in section 202, row double B. That's the first row behind the student section. So we've got plenty of leg room, and hopefully for the game, jumping around and cheering room. And it's an $80 value. They're very good tickets right behind the student section. So you'll have a great view of the field. And there's a couple ways to, as I mentioned, a couple ways to get them, between liking anything we do on Facebook, liking the site itself on Facebook. We'll get you one entry in there, and then we have a program that'll kind of quantify all of that and, take all the individual names in the hat, and then we'll be able to, pick one out there and give away the 2 tickets.
Right, right. And is there any kind of limit on the number of entries anybody can have?
No, there is not. So, obviously one thing we want to get done aside from, obviously giving away a couple of tickets to some App fans out there, or, on the off chance every Montana fan wants to get in there as well, get away some tickets to fans. We want to get the word out there. So, the more that you're spreading the word about the website, the more chances you have to win. So there's no limit to how many, Facebook posts you can like, or tweets you can retweet, or articles you can share, or any of that. No matter how many times you do it, it's just going to keep putting your name in there for the drawing.
That's awesome. And so, when will the winner be announced? With the game coming up fairly soon, when will we announce the winner?
Well, right now the plan is, the game being September the 8th, our plan is to go ahead and announce the winner 2 weeks from tonight, August the 22nd. I'm going to go ahead and we'll choose it live on the air, so exactly 2 weeks from tonight we'll be picking the winner. So everybody out there's got 2 full weeks to go in and like and retweet and do as much as you can to get your name in there. And, from everything I've heard from the ticket office, the reserve seats are dwindling right now, and there's not going to be many of them left in 2 weeks from now. There certainly won't be any of them left. So it's, while obviously there'll be standing room only tickets, we'll have a couple of free tickets with a great view to get out there.
Awesome. And so, like we started the show with saying, we started this site a week ago, a little less than a week actually, but we've already had a few people that have already liked or shared or followed, retweeted, mentioned everything you talked about, how they earn points. Will those count towards the drawing?
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that has already liked us on Facebook, liked the post on Facebook, followed us on Twitter, retweeted something on Twitter, they've already got a head start. Their names are already in the hat. So even if you didn't know about the contest, you've been in it. So your name's out there if you've done any of that. And one aspect I might not have mentioned in terms of Twitter, I mentioned following us or retweeting us. But if you mention us on Twitter, that'll actually get 2 entries for you. But anybody who's done any of that already, obviously with with the exception of any players and coaches that might have done that, your name's already in the hat. You've already got a head start on it.
Great, yeah, awesome. And one thing I want to mention, where we said that there is no limit, use your best judgment. We're obviously not going to put your name in the hat if you're mentioning us by putting a 1-letter tweet. It's got to be of some value. It can't just be a hi or something like that. It's got to be of some value. Otherwise, we won't count it. But you guys just start spreading the word about App State Central. Get your name in the hat to win those tickets. We, like Mike said, we want to give them to an App fan. We'd be okay giving them to a Montana fan if they're willing to spread the word about App State Central. But that's really what we're trying to do, is just get more people to talk about app, whether it's through our site or through one of the sites that we link to through our site. That's what we want to do, spread the word about app and the football team and athletics and the university, and just spread our love to everyone else. And you know what, Mike, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw another challenge out there right now. If you tweet us or post on our Facebook wall within the next 24 hours with the text saying, "I listened to the show," I'll automatically give you 10 entries into it. So if you're listening right now, or you listen to the podcast at a later time, if by Thursday, August 9th at 8:30, if you have not posted "I listened to the show," you will no longer be eligible. But up until then, post "I listened to the show" either on Twitter or on our Facebook wall, and you will earn 10 points. And I might actually throw some more challenges out as the 2 weeks go along. All rules and all challenges and everything will be posted on our message board at appstatecentral.com. So if you want to view those, you're more than welcome to go there and take a look at it and keep earning points and figuring out the best way to get those tickets. That's really all I have for this podcast. Mike, is there any last words you have